Erling Haaland on target as Manchester City make mark against Bayern Munich in UEFA Champions League. Erling Haaland hits 45-goal mark as Manchester City registered a huge win over Bayern Munich in UEFA Champions League. Erling Haaland scored his 45th goal of the season as Manchester City took a commanding 3-0 lead over Bayern Munich from their Champions League quarter-final, first leg on Tuesday. Rodri and Bernardo Silva were also on target for the English champions, who took a giant stride towards finally conquering Europe for the first time. Victory was sweet for City boss Pep Guardiola as he came up against his former club for the first time since leaving Bayern for Manchester in 2016, but he warned that the job is not yet done. "I've been 3 years there and I know in Europe this team is special. To knock out these type of teams you have to make 2 good games, not just 1, said Guardiola. "I know exactly what we have to do there. They are capable to score 1, 2, 3 goals. We have to do our game with huge personality." City also partially settled a Champions League score with Bayern boss Thomas Tuchel, who beat Guardiola's men to lift the trophy as Chelsea manager in the 2021 final. Tuchel was appointed less than 3 weeks ago by the German champions with one eye on this tie, and he believed his side deserved more. "I try to not allow my players to focus on the result because it is not the deserved result, it does not tell the story of this match," said Tuchel. "I've seen so many good things that I refuse to just focus on the result. You may say, that's not Bayern, but I was very proud on the sideline, we were courageous and showed the right character." Pep Guardiola, emotionally destroyed after Manchester City take commanding lead. Pep Guardiola, emotionally destroyed after Manchester City take commanding lead. City beat Bayern Munich 3-0 in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final. Pep Guardiola claimed he was emotionally drained and had aged 10 years after Manchester City's stunning Champions League win over Bayern Munich. City put one foot in the semi-finals for a third successive year as they powered to a 3-0 victory over the German champions in the first leg of their last 8 tie at the Etihad Stadium on Tuesday. City manager Guardiola, who reached the last 4 3 times as Bayern boss, said, "Emotionally I'm destroyed. I have 10 more years today. It was so demanding a game. It was not comfortable. Now I have to relax, a day off for the guys, prepare for Leicester, in the Premier League on Saturday." After 5-6 minutes it was a tight game and in part of the game they were better than us. It was difficult to control them. In the last minutes of the halves, we were better and we scored 3 fantastic chances. The first half was evenly contested but City claimed the initiative with a spectacular strike from Rodri after 27 minutes. A powerful header from Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland's 45th goal of a remarkable season wrapped up a convincing win as City stepped up the pressure in the second half. With the second leg still to come in Germany next week, however, Guardiola is not taking anything for granted. He said, "It was an incredible result but I know a little bit what can happen in Munich. If you don't perform really well they are able to score 1, 2, 3. Arsenal should forget Man City or risk repeating February fixture nightmare costing them the title." Manchester City are on the horizon for Arsenal but they face 2 challenges that they must not lose focus on if they wish to beat Pep Guardiola's side to the Premier League title. It seems almost counterintuitive to forget about your team's main rivals for the Premier League title, but it is important that Arsenal do exactly that. There might only be 3 weeks until the dramatic collision between the Gunners and Man City at the Etihad Stadium, but the distraction of such a huge match on the horizon has already hurt Arsenal once before. Mikel Arteta has often discussed the idea of game by game, and even training session by training session. However, he has masterminded a shockingly good season that has exceeded almost everyone's expectations, perhaps besides those inside the club, of what Arsenal might achieve this campaign. Liverpool pull out of the race to sign £100 million rated Jude Bellingham. Liverpool have pulled out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham from Borussia Dortmund this summer after concluding the deal would not make sense for them anymore, and potentially opening the way for Real Madrid or Manchester City to seal a record deal for the midfielder. Jurgen Klopp has been a high-profile admirer of the England international for some time, and the 19-year-old was expected to top Liverpool's list of targets after they opted not to sign a midfielder last summer. Bellingham is expected to command a record price for an English player, topping the £100 million City paid for Jack Grealish, but Liverpool's budget may be reduced as they are unlikely to qualify for the Champions League and they are likely to need to divide it several ways with at least 2 midfielders needed. James Milner, Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who are all out of contract in the summer, could leave, along with on-loan Arthur Melo. Liverpool are also wary of getting into a bidding war and ending up wasting time and missing out on other targets while chasing Bellingham. They were conscious there was no guarantee he would choose to come to Anfield, but their decision leaves Real the favourites to buy Bellingham. However, there is a growing possibility the former Birmingham player, who is under contract until 2025, will stay in Germany for 1 more year. Liverpool have also considered a host of other midfielders, including the Chelsea pair of Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher, the Brighton duo of Moises Caicedo and Alexis Mac Allister and Wolves' Matheus Nunes. Blues hold Gavey talks as Frank Lampard addresses Champions League hopes. Chelsea face a tough challenge in the Champions League quarter-finals, having been drawn against 14-time champions Real Madrid. Chelsea are gearing up for the first leg of a huge Champions League quarter-final tie against Real Madrid. The Blues enter the tie as underdogs, having failed to secure a win in their last 4 games. They also recently sacked manager Graham Potter, with club legend Frank Lampard returning as caretaker boss. However, Chelsea lost 1-0 to Wolves in his first game in charge and will be desperate to bounce back against Madrid. Here are the latest headlines from the club. Barcelona midfielder Gavey has been linked with a switch to Stamford Bridge this summer after La Liga refused to ratify the new deal he signed back in September. Barcelona inserted a huge €1 billion (£866 million) release clause into Gavey's new contract, but they have been unable to register it due to their financial woes, with the Catalan giants billions of pounds in debt. As a result, the 18-year-old midfielder remains on his youth deal, and as report that representatives from Chelsea have met Gavey's agent to discuss a potential move to the Premier League. Nico Barella and Romelu Lukaku on target as Inter Milan overcome Benfica in Champions League quarter-final first leg. Inter Milan drew first blood in their Champions League quarter-final against Benfica, winning the first leg 2-0 in Lisbon. Nico Barella and Romelu Lukaku scored a goal each to secure a vital victory in the Portuguese capital. The two sides will play out the second leg in the San Siro on April 19th. Before the second leg in Milan, Benfica will play Chaves while Inter will host Monza. Nico Barella and Romelu Lukaku were on target for Inter Milan as they beat Benfica 2-0 in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League quarter-final. It was a lackluster first half, with only 1 shot on target coming from Barcelona target beginning to slip from their fingers. FC Barcelona target and current Brazilian wonderkid Vitor Roque has clubs preying on his acquisition from all across Europe. The 18-year-old has gained quite the traction for his displays and performances in recent times, and the race for his signature has gotten much more competitive. While the player remains adamant that his own ideal would be to make the jump to Europe donning the Blaugrana colors, there remains the indefinite factor of concluding a financial package with his club from Brazil, Atlético Paranaense. That latter negotiation is what may just be the deciding factor as to which club ends up landing the services of Vitor Roque. Barcelona, while confident that they provide the best personalized sporting project for the young Brazilian, can simply not compete with the likes of English Premier League sides Chelsea and Arsenal on a financial level given the Catalans' rather vulnerable economic situation. In England, it remains a concrete belief that Barcelona can now not be a big hurdle in stopping the teams from London in Roque's transfer. According to the reports from Sport, Premier League sides remain the teams in the best conditions to sign him, alongside potential interest from Newcastle that has not fully materialized yet. Regardless, one thing remains certain: Barcelona have not given up just yet and believe that by improved negotiations with the player, they can accommodate his transfer if he chooses to make them his only priority and convey it to his own club subsequently. The player will indefinitely be sold by Atlético Paranaense this season. It just remains to be seen what colors he will be representing once he makes the transition to Europe. US women's national team defeats Republic of Ireland 1-0 in St. Louis as defender Alana Cook scores her first international goal. The US women's national team beat the Republic of Ireland 1-0 in front of an electric crowd of 22,294 fans at City Park in the second international friendly over 4 days between the two World Cup-bound teams. Defender Alana Cook celebrated her 26th birthday in memorable fashion as she scored her first international goal and became just the third player in USWNT history to score on her birthday, joining Mia Hamm and Alex Morgan. The USA got off to a hot start as defender and team captain Becky Sauerbrunn, who was recognized in her hometown before the game for her 200th cap milestone, came close to opening the scoring off a corner kick in the 3rd minute as she crashed into the box and connected with a powerful header that rattled off the crossbar. The chance almost ended her record of 215 games without scoring for the USA. Ireland had a couple of chances in the first half, the first of which came in the 8th minute with a shot from distance from midfielder Katie McCabe that USA goalkeeper Casey Murphy saved comfortably, and another in the 24th minute after a deflection following a low, driven pass into the box sent the ball straight up in the air, forcing Murphy to knock it out for a corner as it fell near the mouth of goal. The USA scored what would turn out to be the game winner in the 43rd minute as Cook sent a long ball into the box from at least 40 yards out that sailed over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. With the goal, Cook became the 117th player to score for the USWNT and the second defender to score for the USA this year. With the lead in hand, the US did well to lock down its defense in the second half. Deploying all 6 of its substitutions, which included 5 in the second half in addition to defender Tierna Davidson. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you again with more news. Bye for now.